I have quite a few vegetarian friends who consume dairy products, and they believe this false idea that dairy products are a benign animal product, that there's no harm connected to milk, because they figure, well, once a cow starts giving milk, she just gives milk. And they don't realize that cows can't give adequate amount of milk for production unless they're pregnant. And cows have the same gestation period as humans, 9 months. They're pregnant 9 months, give birth. Within 24 hours, maximum 72 hours, you take the calf away from the cow because you need the milk for production. The cows will they'll look for them.
Cows will often mourn their children for days or weeks.
It's a heartbreaking thing to watch.
Calves are being born constantly, but they serve no useful purpose and are soon put to different use.
Let's say a cow is alive for 4 years. She'll have 4 calves. Just genetic roulette. 2 are going to be male, 2 are going to be female. The 2 males have no use to the dairy industry. They're going to go to auction within a day to 2 or 3 days after birth. You only need 1 female to replace the mom. So 3 out of 4 calves go to slaughter right after they're born. It's a terrible business. I mean, there's more suffering in a glass of milk than you can find just about anything. The calves will, bawl and bawl and bawl. The cows will they'll look for them.
We know in our bones that harming mothers who are just giving birth to babies and nursing those babies and nurturing those babies is something that is against our own compassion and kindness. And so when we're eating animal foods, eating dairy products, that's exactly what we're doing. We're paying people to impregnate animals, steal their babies, steal their milk, and then kill them.
I always say to people, imagine that. Imagine that you was pregnant. You got your breast ready to give milk, and somebody took your baby away, and then, another animal came and took your milk. It's almost, for human beings, it's almost impossible to imagine. But that's what many animals go through. And some people think, goat's milk is better than cow's milk. Well, the goat is also a living thing. The goat also produces milk, not for human consumption, but for the consumption of a little baby goat. And that's who the milk should go to.
Nearly 75% of the world's population and 20% of Europeans are lactose intolerant. In other words, unable to properly digest dairy products. Dairy products contain no complex carbohydrates or roughage and very few vitamins. Instead, they are full of saturated fat, cholesterol, and animal protein.
When we're young and growing up, everybody wants to try to feed people dairy products and make sure you have milk every day. But The science really now is at a point where that cannot be sustained. There is ample evidence from wonderful investigators like T. Colin Campbell, who clearly showed that casein, which is the major protein in milk, is really one of the strongest promoters of cancer. We also know that all the saturated fat and the casein in dairy helps to accelerate and promote heart disease. And then we have this whole problem of fractures in the elderly. So here we have this problem of increasing cancer, increasing heart disease, and increasing fracture. Not a good thing. Dairy really should be out.
Es wird sehr viel darüber diskutiert, dass wir ohne Milch nicht genügend Kalzium aufnehmen. Kalzium ist wichtig für die Knochenstabilität, soll Osteoporose vorbeugen, aber Untersuchungen von Menschen, die überhaupt keine Milch und keine Milchprodukte verzehren, zeigen, dass dort die Osteoporose-Häufigkeit sehr viel geringer ist als bei uns.
And dairy also has, and there's good evidence for this, it has some allergenic properties. It tends to be associated with allergies, either directly associated or enhancing the allergies coming from another source. And so we see things like, in the case of teenage boys, we get this acne. They get this acne sometimes, the skin problem. A lot of that is due to their consumption of dairy. Stop dairy, goes away. Dairy is associated with migraine headaches. I know of a lot of people, have these migraine headaches. It's kind of an allergy kind of thing, as is acne. That's kind of an allergy kind of thing. You stop that, it goes away. And it's very fast. And I used to say that with great reluctance because I was raised on a dairy farm. I grew up milking cows. And then when I went away to do my doctoral dissertation, I actually did my dissertation on the idea of promoting more milk consumption. So I'm not saying these rather negative things about dairy for any ideological reasons or any personal reasons. I'm saying it in reference to the evidence, the data. That's what it shows.
Humans are not the only beings with personalities, minds and feelings. Once we realize that we are part of the animal kingdom, then it becomes quite as important how we treat animals, all animals, as how we treat each other. And so only when we show respect and consideration and concern for other living beings can we imagine a world that's more peaceful than the one today.
Every one of us can make a difference. Every one of us eats at least 2 to 3 times a day. And every act of conscious eating, of knowing what the consequences of your eating are, knowing what you're eating, is an act of changing the world.
I think the most important message that I have is to remember that you, and I'm speaking to you watching this film, you make a difference. You as an individual make a difference. What you do each day actually is affecting what's going on in the world each day. So your life matters, you matter, and use your life wisely.